It seems like nary a day goes by without yet another story of relentless, ridiculous censorship from the world of open source. Because when you think open source, you think censorship. It's the most ridiculous thing in the world, but that's where we're at. This latest round comes from Universal Blue, a Fedora-based Linux project with multiple distributions underneath it. They've been getting quite a bit of traction lately, and they have gone ahead and banned completely the most active user they have. This isn't a joke, it's crazy. So they're banning their most active vocal supporters, the people that help people the most in their forums. They're banning them. They're banning users. They banned me because of course they did. That's how it goes. And they're just shutting down discussion across the board. Now, why are we talking about this? One person, whoever they are, getting banned or censored by one project, it's not news. It's just not. It's just drama, right? Blah, 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 drama, drama, drama. It's just internet drama. It's internet noise. So why are we talking about it? For the simple reason that what we have now is a pattern, an extreme pattern that's having a direct, noticeable, tangible, measurable impact on the entire world of open source, everyone that contributes to open source, everyone that uses open source. You are really noticing it. And that impact on the world of computing is worth talking about, because what we're seeing right now is not just a little bit of drama over here, a little bit of drama over there. It is a real and tangible thing. Active contributors being banned from projects, users of projects, of pieces of software being banned from filing bug reports, asking questions in support forums, any sort of communication whatsoever. Tech journalists being banned from even asking a question about what may or may not be going on, technical or otherwise. Whole discussions, critical or not, being censored, silenced, and shut down. This completely stifles the ability for communities to organize, to communicate with each other. Well, this is another example of intense censorship from open source, of intense intolerance and hatred from open source. And of course, another example of really extreme politics from open source. This latest example, a user named Malix. Now, Malix noticed what was going on over at their project known as Universal Blue, and didn't really like what he was seeing. He was seeing some political stuff happening, some political messaging and branding going on. So what Malix did next was not make some public statement. He sent a private message to one of the leaders of the project, asking nicely if they should be doing that. Basically said, have we approved of some of the LGBT advertising that's been going on for one of our sub-projects? As you know, he says, I love Universal Blue and your projects, but I extremely strongly believe that politics should be out of the equation. Basically, he says something that so many people have said recently. Keep politics out of the software projects themselves. If people want to be political in their own time, go for it. Have at it. Go nuts. But inside the projects, software projects, operating systems, do those really need to take political stances? So he sends that private message over to the creator of the project. That private message that nobody else was seeing promptly got deleted. Now, this particular user, well, he had enough wherewithal to know with how things have been going and how censor happy people have been, he took screenshots. So screenshots are in front of you. The one on the left is the message, the private message he sent on their forum for Universal Blue, privately just to the creator, and to the right is that same message, oops, that page doesn't exist. Now, promptly, that user was banned from the forum, banned from the source control over on GitHub, banned from the Discord chat server, banned. And the reason The only reason they gave for banning the person was, and I'm not joking about this, it's ridiculous, quote, "This user is suspended. Reason? In the wrong place." End quote. Is in the wrong place. Now, all of this started because, well, a couple days ago, I covered a Linux distribution gaming project called Bazite. Bazite is part of Universal Blue. Universal Blue has several different projects, Bazite being one of them. And I noted that Bazite had a cartoonified trans character as a mascot that they were promoting with the trans flag and the bisexual flag and things like that. And I noted that this was weird. That's a weird thing to do. I put it out there that that's a bit weird. And he was responding. This user was responding to that. Like, should we really be doing this? It's a fair question to ask. Now, Universal Blue, just for those of you who would like to know what it is what they call, their tagline is, "Powered by the future, delivered today." What does that mean? I don't know. It's a stupid tagline. But their About Us section gives a little more details. The Universal Blue project builds a diverse set of continuously delivered operating system images using Fedora Atomic Desktop support for bootable OCI containers. That's nerd speak for the ultimate Linux client, the reliability of a Chromebook, but with the flexibility and power of a traditional Linux desktop. Okay, so basically, these are Linux distributions, right? This is their take on Linux distributions. They're all based on Fedora Linux from Red Hat, and they take their own particular spin on them. One of them being Bazite, their gaming-focused version. Great. That they put that out there, and they've gotten some traction from it. In fact, if you go look at their Universal webpage, they have a metrics site which shows the number of pull requests, right? How many people are really being active over there on source control. And they're currently at 30.3 million pull requests. That's a lot. These are active projects, and they've gotten a lot of traction, and there's a lot of people that are getting involved with it. So when they go ahead and they ban their most prolific user, you take notice to that. This isn't just some random person. Now, who is this exactly? This Malix folk. Now, he's not running the project, but he created a whole website dedicated to awesome atomic, is what he calls it, of different cool things about the project. And if you go to their forum and look at their stats, he is the user that has received the most likes, so more liked than any other person. And he's in the top 5 of the most topics written, the most likes given, and the person that has been replied to the most. I mean, it just no matter how you dice it, this is one of the most active individuals in the entire project. And they banned him. It's fascinating. It's fascinating because the reason they gave for banning him was that he was in the wrong place. It doesn't seem like you're in the wrong place when you're the most active contributor that they got. And so I went over and I asked, because that's curious. That's a weird thing. This Malix guy, he reached out to me. I don't know him, but he reached out to me. He said, "Hey, Lunduke, check this out. I don't know what's going on. I've reached out to try to figure out what's happening, but no one's responded to me, and it's crazy. I don't know what to do." And so I emailed the Universal Blue creators. Didn't hear back. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So I went over to their Discord channel, their Discord chat channel, where so many censorious projects like to hang out. And I hopped in there and I asked the following, and I'm going to read it to you verbatim so you can see exactly what happened here. "Hello, Universal Blue folk. I'm following up on a report of one of your more active members being recently banned across Universal Blue sites, including this Discord. I'm trying to find the right person to ask a few quick questions relating to that. Any suggestion of who would be the best point of contact? Many thanks." Okay, right? So that's what I said. Other than the fact that I said folk, I don't really see a whole lot of bannable offenses in there. An individual responded, okay, I suspect I know who this was, someone who was repeatedly trolling the community, but Jorge, one of the creators, who I know, and other mods can give you more on that. They even invoked you. Okay, this sounds interesting. Now, I should point out that I sent those over to Malix, and after looking around, doing some searches, it does not appear that this person that they're talking about being banned was the same person that contacted me. So there are several people that have been banned over the last day inside this project for a variety of reasons. Who knows what? So I respond, okay, excellent. So Jorge is a good contact. I was hoping that was the case. I'll ping him again. And I was invoked. There you go. That's all I had. About 30 seconds later, I was banned from the server. The server just bloop, went away, and I could not log back in. Those messages, I should noted, all of those messages that I posted to their Discord server, as well as every response to me, was then promptly deleted, scrubbed, like it never even happened. Like someone came in and said, well, this is a disgusting crime scene. I'm going to Clorox bleach the whole thing. And it's all gone. But luckily, again, I assume censorious conduct, so I screenshot. You assume if it's an open source project and you communicate with them, always assume they will delete, mute, and ban you. Always. Because they almost always do. Oh, like 90+% of the time, that's what they do. And that's not an exaggeration. I want to point out that that is not an exaggeration at all. Let's go back here to the Bazite thing, right? So one of the sub-projects of this Universal Blue Fedora Linux based project is Bazite. And they put up a post about their new mascot, the one that I criticized earlier. Now, in that post, there were, at the time that I took this screenshot, 125 top-level comments, meaning people saw that post on X, hit the I'm going to leave a comment button, and typed something and hit send. Okay. Now, other people replied to those people and whatnot, but there was 125 top-level comments. Out of those 125 top-level comments, they were all hidden except 7 of them. That's right. 125 comments, and they hid 118 of them. In other words, 94 point something percent, roughly 95% of all comments were hidden and censored and blocked and banned. This is how they work. And that's not a surprising metric. I point this out to people. I'm like, hey, free speech is not something that the open source people in power like. They don't like it when you speak your mind. They are going to stop you because they're not about being open. They're about being as closed as possible, like to a ridiculous degree. We're not talking about a little bit of censorship. We're talking about almost always censor, right? They only let a little bit through. If you're seeing conversations, you're seeing a tiny percentage, a single digit percentage of what is actually being posted. The rest is gone away. And this is one very public example that's easy to measure. This sort of thing happens regularly. It's insane how much censorship they do. And again, one little bit of censorship, it's just drama, right? I mean, it may be unfortunate, it may be misguided, it may be a good thing. You never know when someone says, hey, I got banned from a forum. Okay, well, without knowing any other details, maybe they deserve to get banned. Maybe they didn't deserve to get banned. Maybe, you don't know. You don't have any other details on that, right? The story could go a million different directions. But when you start looking at the broader pattern, and you start really taking active screenshots and really saying, okay, what is getting posted and what is happening? You start realizing that it's extremist political activists in positions of moderation power and administrative power within open source organizations, actively weaponizing their hate and intolerance of other people to force censorship on everybody, to keep any criticism at bay, to keep dissent at bay, to force out anyone who might think for themselves over and over again. And it's absolutely tremendously destructive to the individual projects and to open source as a whole. I can't count the number of people I've heard from over the last several months who is like, that's it, I'm done with this Linux garbage. And it's not because they dislike the tech. They like Linux. It's not that they would prefer to run a different system. No, the Linux would be their preferred system. It's not that they dislike the licensing. No, they love the software license. They like the GPL, the BSD, the MIT, the Apache. They love those software licenses. So what is it that's driving them away? It's this. Exactly this. Weaponized codes of conduct, weaponized extremist politics, and extreme levels of censorship, constantly ongoing every single day. Now, the Lunduke Journal can't report on every instance of this because I get, in the last 24 hours, this is not the only report I've received. I'm reporting on this one because it ties into one of the previous reports I had and because they banned me too. But I keep getting reports constantly of people who are like, here's a screenshot. I got banned. Here's a screenshot. Can you tell me why I got banned, Lunduke? I don't even know. But I've been banned from this project. I've been banned from that GitHub. I've been banned from that forum. All these open source projects are banning anyone who say things like, hey, maybe we don't need to worry about being political. We'll just make some great software together because we're nerds and we're awesome. That will get people banned. And you can't even say that that's an exaggeration because we've seen that play out in the public space. Remember Godot, the Godot game engine. They literally went on a cleansing of users specifically for saying things like, let's just focus on tech and not worry about politics. Let's just focus on code and leave politics to someone else, or just, talk about politics somewhere else. Let's just focus on this, building this cool open source game engine. Ban. They banned tons of people. They went on a ban spree. Ban. They pulled out the ban machine gun for exactly that reason. And they were public about it. The Godot people were like, yeah, we're banning people for that. Can you believe the audacity that someone came out and said that a piece of software, people building it, should focus on the piece of software when they're working together? That's insane. And so they ban. But they don't just ban people for that. They ban people for having the wrong politics or no politics. It's insane. Or refusal to fly specific flags. That's a thing. We see that in so many different projects, from NixOS to OpenSUSE. If you don't fly the right flag, you're banned. And so that's why I'm reporting on this one here today. I don't know the person in question. After looking through the forum and his past posts and how extraordinarily polite this guy is and seemingly well liked he is, and how he's one of the most, literally the user that the people click the like button on the most for their posts is this guy. And he's getting banned because in private, he suggested that he likes it when we're not doing politics and just making great software. Ban. Yep. This keeps happening all the time. I can't report on it every day, but every now and then we need to talk about it because it's insane and it's causing distinct damage to these individual projects and to the world of open source as a whole, and to, in general, computing, because this is not what being a computer nerd is all about. I would like to say right now, thank you to all the Lunduke Journal subscribers for making what I do possible. Go to lunduke.com and click on things. There's links there. You love links. You love them. Links are your favorite. You can watch this show on Locals, on Rumble, on X, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Patreon. You can download MP4 versions of the show. You can listen to the audio podcast or the RSS feed through Fountain, through iTunes, through Spotify, through Substack. It's crazy. You can get this show everywhere. So click on whatever you like. Go to the website you like the most. I guarantee you it's linked from lunduke.com. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nerds and nerdettes across this whole gosh darn inner tube, I do declare, end broadcast.